Jack Campbell. You're listening to the Why So Serious Show.
Now, stand up and make some noise for your cast of the Why So Serious Show on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
It is Tuesday, and it is time for the Why So Serious Show on Blaze Radio, BlazeRadioOnline.com. Not live and not in the Bill Austin radio studio. I'm Jesse Morrison, joined alongside Mallory Schnell and Alex Coyle. We will have an interview with my boss, Hod Rabino from That's a Fun.
Hod Rabino?
I don't know. That was rough. Hod Rabino of Devil's Digest, my boss, publisher over there. You can check it out. It's great content. We'll have that coming up after we talk some college basketball. But, I just have to start off with just the proper way to start this show, and it's just to do this. Football team, football team, football team, football team. Football team, football team, football team. Football team, football team, football team. Huge win for the football team yesterday. 20-9.
You played the Bengals.
20-9 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Alex Smith's first win since the horrific leg injury. He is in line for comeback player of the year. And we will win this week on Thanksgiving against the Dallas Cowboys. And then the Eagles will lose on Monday night. And the Giants have a bye. And the Washington football team will retain sole possession of first place. Yes, football team. Woo! Anybody? Nope. Nobody
I'm
yet.
excited. I'm excited for Thursday, though. That's gonna be a really good football game.
It is. It's going to be absolutely atrocious, actually.
No, I think it's gonna be a really, really good football game.
Well, the football team's going to win 35-7, so
No.
guaranteeing it. I'm guaranteeing a 35-7 win.
35-7.
35-7 football team. We're going to go on a roll. I'm telling you, we're finishing 7-9 in first place. And I will celebrate like we've won the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys are finishing 9-7 in first place.
You're winning out.
Easiest schedule in football.
7 wins in a row
Easiest schedule in football.
with Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Easiest remaining schedule in football. That's all I gotta say. Defense is playing better.
Mallory, put it on the poll. Is 7-0 with Andy Dalton ever a possibility? No. Just put, is 7-0 with the Red Rifle ever a possibility?
We still have to play the football team at home.
Big win.
The Bengals,
Home field doesn't matter this year. You guys have like 15 fans there every week.
the Giants, Eagles, who Carson Wentz is just bad, and then 2 other teams that I honestly don't even remember what to play. Lions, maybe? No.
Probably the Lions.
No.
Y'all haven't played the Lions yet, and we play in the NFC North this year.
Oh, we have to play the Bears. I think.
Mallory, you got to do that again. You spelled rifle Riffle. Rifle has 1 F.
That's why I kept autocorrecting it to raffle.
Let's just redo that. Mallory's off to a great start. Mallory, are you excited that your football team drafted the 3rd best quarterback in the first round?
Don't underestimate too.
Actually, probably. What did you say?
Ben,
Yeah, they benched him for Fitzmagic, who's back.
Oh, he's not back. Tua will be starting next week.
I'm just saying that Fitzmagic is back. I mean,
here's the remaining schedule for the Cowboys. Football team.
you almost said it. That's like a half fine.
Football team at home at Ravens the next Thursday.
That's a loss.
Well, I mean, they're the 2 running backs are in quarantine now after positive tests.
You know what my least favorite thing is about this about the Cowboys is that every year they get a proper Thursday night game. Like they play on Thursday the week before, and then the NFL gives them the Thursday night game after that. You know, all these teams have to play on 3 days rest. But of course, America's team, the Cowboys, the vaunted Cowboys, this team that everybody loves for some reason, even though they haven't been relevant for 20-something years, they get a week off.
Stop. You're forgetting the fact that we have to play on 3 days rest on the front end for Thanksgiving every single year. So that's not an argument.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right there.
That's the only reason why.
You know what? I think just for the Cowboys' sake, they should have to play Thursday on Thanksgiving, Sunday, and then Thursday again.
That weekend?
Yeah.
So 3 days off, 2 days off, 3 days off for
Yeah.
a 4-game stretch.
Yeah.
Four
Mallory,
games in like 15 days.
Mallory, put it on the poll. Should the Cowboys have to play 4 games in 15 days?
No, that'd be 10. 4 games in 10 days.
Yeah, Mallory, put it on the poll. Should the Cowboys have to play 4 games in 10 days during November?
So here's the schedule. Washington at home, at the Ravens.
Loss.
At
Both
the
of-
Bengals.
No. Bengals is a win. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Home 49ers, home
Awesome.
Eagles, at Giants.
Yeah, I'm looking at like 2 wins in there, honestly.
Better pick. I mean, hey, 5-11.
I just came on the show deciding to be Mallory today. It's fine.
What?
I'm just being like so homerish, like it's just ridiculous. That's
Speaking of
Mallory's
homerish, how about the Miami Heat?
Are we doing that second? I don't know. I don't remember.
What did he even do? Anything?
Oh no, we'll get there. Believe me. The Heat did a lot. Let me tell you, they did everything that Mallory and Jeremy were telling me. You know what? We're just gonna get into this now because I want to.
Mallory, what did we do?
We did exactly what we needed to do to set ourselves up for a successful 2021 free agency. The Godfather Pat Riley has a plan to get Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021.
Okay. All right. So I believe many times that Mallory and Jeremy and the whole Heat Nation and all of their bogus reporters online, all of them are saying, oh, they always Photoshop these stars and Miami Heat uniforms that they're going to trade for this offseason, not next offseason. No. Next, they're talking Victor Oladipo this offseason. I haven't seen Victor Oladipo in a Miami Heat uniform.
It's happening. Just give it a few days.
The big signing.
We're going to take Victor Oladipo out of the state of Indiana. I'm sorry.
Wait for it. The big signing for the Miami Heat is, wait for it, Avery Bradley. Huge signing for the Heat. Didn't even play in the bubble. Avery Bradley. That's who you got. Let's look at Mr. Bradley's numbers last season and basically for his career. Mr. Big signing Avery Bradley. Miami Heat. Bringing all the free agents.
That is a move that is going to attract the Greek freak.
Definitely.
I think so.
Definitely.
Because he played with his brother.
Yeah, definitely. Avery Bradley last year, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. That's your big move right there, Mallory. Your big move. Avery Bradley, basically his career worst year, other than his rookie season when he averaged 2 points a game.
So here's what happened with the Avery Bradley situation. The Heat wanted Jay Crowder to stay, but could only give him 1 year because of our 2021 plans. The Suns were able to offer Jay Crowder 3 years, so Jay Crowder took that. Pat Riley was scrambling to find someone because we lost Jay Crowder. Therefore, he got Avery Bradley.
Because you lose Jay Crowder?
Defensive player. Let me
tell you. He's gotten votes for defensive player of the year every year.
No, stop. Defensive guard.
No, I'm thinking of the Mo Harkness guy.
Mo Harkless?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay.
Which one's the defensive player? Is that Avery Bradley or Mo Harkness?
Mallory, it's a $50 fine. You're also muted. Mallory's performance tonight so far. But Avery Bradley is a 6'3", 180-pound guard who is coming off one of the worst seasons in his career. Is a 44% field goal percentage shooter, 36% on threes. Mallory, put it on the poll. Is Avery Bradley the move that's going to attract Giannis? And you have to put "the" in all caps. But no, like I wanted to go through
Can't
this.
wait to see how she spells Giannis.
She knows how to spell Giannis.
Well,
I know how to spell Giannis and
You would
Antetokounmpo.
think-
Don't worry about it.
Do it. Put both on the
without checking, without looking up.
Without checking, you can't look it up. We're gonna see if you. We're gonna see if you get Antetokounmpo. She's claiming. Mallory Schnell is claiming she knows how to spell Antetokounmpo.
Share her screen. She needs to share her screen right now.
Yep, you gotta share. Okay, you gotta share your screen. You
can't look it up. No cheating.
No cheating. You can't look it up. I would guarantee you 0.01% of population knows how to do this off of the top of their head. Here we
Put
go.
on the poll. Put on the poll. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Is Avery Bradley?
No, put on the poll.
the
No, whoa.
move
You're not sharing your screen
that-
here.
She can't share her screen. Are you logged into the show account? I'm not logged into the show account on my computer.
No. Dang.
I trust her. I trust her. Just keep going. Just I don't.
A-N.
This is maybe the boldest claim ever stated on the show. Nobody knows how to spell. Alex, do you know how to spell that name off the
I'm
top?
getting ready to tweet it.
I just tried here. I'm going to see if it's correct.
I didn't try. I'm good. Now you can stop sharing your screen.
No, way wrong. Way wrong. I got the last half right, but the first half.
Did you get it right? Did Mallory Schnell get this right?
I'm still hashtagging.
Read it to me. Hold on. I got his first name correct.
Yeah, that's not that hard. The first name's
Okay, it's tweeted.
Nope.
Did you get it wrong?
Yeah, Antetokounmpo.
Wow.
What? No way.
It's A instead of O.
No.
Yes, it is.
Do you have this pulled up? This is great radio, by the way.
Oh, I was looking at
No, Mallory's right.
No, she looked it up. She definitely
No,
looked
she
What do
did.
I get?
No, I believe her. Let's do this.
No,
Yeah.
What do I get? What's my prize?
the reversal of the $50 fine that you just had.
Yeah, and that sound that I just played. You got the sound that I finally found.
Alex still thinks I looked it up though.
Alex, do you still think?
I'm just mad at myself because I was reading how I spelled it and told her that she got it wrong. I was only one
That's
letter.
a fine for you. That's a fine for you.
I was only one letter off, but I missed the A instead of the O, so I'm actually kind of proud of myself.
Okay, are you all excited for? So I want to get back onto the main point here about the.
Why is Mallory yelling?
Mallory got Giannis's last name. Apparently, allegedly, got Giannis's last name off the top of her head. We didn't think she could spell it off the top of her head.
No,
Yeah.
I spelled it on Twitter.
She spelled it on Twitter. I know. Alex and I agree that 0.01%.
You didn't look it up. You just.
We agree that 0.01% of the population.
Do you know what that means?
So that,
He's destined to come to Miami.
I will never misspell Antetokounmpo anymore now.
I
Never.
would totally misspell it.
I will after seeing that and seeing what I missed. Never.
I don't think Giannis went to. He didn't go to college. But if he did, it would be Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know, if he joined the frat.
All right,
All right. Yeah.
walking.
Lap.
All right.
Lap City. Horrible.
Yep. So, Avery Bradley, Miles Harkless. How about that?
How about that? Did you say Miles
Wait.
Harkless? Did you just say Miles Harkless?
Why is Mallory getting this players?
She just said Miles Harkless.
Hey, at least she didn't confuse CJ
I
Miles
was
with
focused
CJ
on his
Watson to his
last
face.
Miles Harkless. You get
All right.
your Antetokounmpo prize revoked.
All right, big
No.
big free agency news. all around the league. And
Okay, but before we move on, the Heat re-signed Goran Dragic and Myers Leonard.
Did Myers Leonard
Lost
play
Derek
for them
Jones
last year?
Jr.
Myers Leonard, finals starter.
He started in the finals? Jeez.
Yeah, because Bam got hurt.
Flash.
Mallory,
I
can't say
think people forget that Myers started every regular season game.
He played at Illinois. He sucks.
The Fighting Illini.
it's the Illini. All right. But this huge move that the Heat made to get Avery Bradley, according to NBA.com, is not in their top 20 moves from free agency's opening weekend. So I'm just going to rattle off the moves from number 20.
You're stealing ESPN's and you didn't do your own? That's kind of stupid.
I don't have time for that. I got a job. I'm doing NBA.com. This is NBA.com's rankings. I would not even have had the Goran Dragic move on here because, that would have just been extra.
NBA is lame.
It would have just made you laugh. What'd you say?
The NBA is lame.
We'll get to your amateur hour in a few minutes. But first, we got to talk about guys that are actually paid to do this. No shade at college basketball. I love college basketball, and it's my job. But number 20, Goran Dragic. What'd you say?
Are we going through this entire list?
Of course. Number 20, Goran Dragic stays with the Heat.
Dragic.
I said that.
You said Dragic. It's
I
Dragic.
said Dragic.
You
Jordan
said Dragic.
Clarkson stays with the Jazz. Number 19. Number 18, Derek Jones Jr. to the Blazers.
Aw.
Number 17, and that's a Heat player that they lost. That was very capable of doing big things. Number 17, Marcus Morris stays with the Clippers. Bulls great Chris Dunn to the Hawks. Number 16.
Wait, you said Marcus Morris stays with the Clippers. I thought he was on the Lakers.
That's Markieff. Jay Crowder to the Suns, a move I didn't know about before this show. Even though I have
Wait, pause.
We were
Pause.
literally talking about this like 2 minutes ago.
Pause.
I told
Jesse,
you
I
guys.
started waking up from my slumber in the NBA.
Do you not follow Devin Booker on social media?
I do, but my social media account is very me focused. I like to stay on my profile, tweeting my takes, giving my opinions. Also, I have Shams and
Do you
Oh, thank
only
God he
scroll
made me
through
a
your
host.
profile on Twitter? Put on the poll. Does Jesse only scroll through his own profile? He's muted. He muted himself.
I scroll through my homepage. I go
Why
to
do
my
you
For
do
You
yourself?
page a lot. My For You page is really good. And I
Your,
like
your For You page? Is this TikTok?
no, there's the For You page and then there's the
On
trending.
Twitter?
Yeah, the For You page on
It's
Twitter.
the
not
search
called
bar?
The For You page.
Yeah, it's called the For You page. It's right here. So you see this? See,
Not
look.
called the For You
For
page.
You. Right there. For
No,
You page.
that's on Explore.
That's on the Explore thing.
Okay, well that's what I do. It's all this stuff.
It's your timeline.
No, isn't this my timeline? This home part?
Yes.
No, this is when I look for Explore. It says For You.
You
Just like-
scroll through that? You scroll through the Explore?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who in the world does that?
It gives me NFL trending stuff. Just get off. I do Twitter the way I want to do Twitter. I'll let you do Twitter the way you want to do Twitter.
I will say, I've had the NBA Draft Twitter account, the notifications on their tweets for 4.5 years, without taking them off.
You probably should switch to Woj or Shams or the Steinline, my favorite Twitter account username on
NBA
on
sucks.
Twitter.
NBA sucks, but for some reason, I have the NBA Draft on notifications, and when I get a random tweet in the middle of March, from
Mallory on the poll, does Jesse Morrison only scroll through his profile? Yeah,
yes and yes.
I can't find it now. Oh, here we go. All right, well, we got to get back to the more important things at hand. Number 16, Chris Dunn to the Hawks, Bulls great. Number 15, Jay Crowder. We already said these. Number 14, KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. How about that? Staying with the Lakers. And then we've got number 13, Tristan Thompson's going to look super weird in a Boston Celtics uniform. Wesley Matthews to the Lakers, number 12. We are nearing the top 10, but not quite there yet. Number 11 is rookie max deal for Kings guard De'Aaron Fox. Woo. A bigger number 10, Jeremy Grant to the Pistons.
Jeremy Grant?
Apparently a way bigger deal than the deal for Avery Bradley. Joe Harris to the Nets, staying with the Nets. We've got number 8, Davis Bertans. Bigger deal than Avery Bradley in the top 10. Back to the Wizards. Actually, he's really good.
This is why the NBA is boring. This is why the NBA is
No. He was really good. He's a really good player. You just don't know about Davis Bertans. Oh my gosh. Number 7, Rajon Rondo to the Hawks. I don't know why he's going to the Hawks. That's where NBA careers
He likes the fried chicken in Atlanta.
What'd you say?
He likes the wings from Atlanta.
Are you talking about like
Strip club.
okay, Magic City?
Yeah, he's like the wings, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's where people go to Magic City is for the wings. That's the only reason you go. Serge Ibaka, number 5.
That's the only reason you go.
To the Clippers. Clippers adding depth. Number 4, Christian Wood to the Rockets. Again, did not know who this guy was, but apparently he played well last year.
How is it this? Okay, the NBA sucks. The
Okay,
NBA
so he was an undrafted rookie.
horrible.
Or you just don't pay attention enough. Maybe that's
horrible.
okay. Number 3, it's also a very weak year for free agency. Let's remember that. Number 3, Danilo Gallinari to the Hawks. Again, that's where careers go to die. Number 2, Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers. And I've got something funny.
Harrell's the number 2 free agency move.
It's not a great year. Next year we got Giannis. Anthony Davis is a free agent, but we all know where he's going back to.
Why'd you hit the button?
It was very late, but it was for Montrezl Harrell. Okay, number 1, Gordon Hayward to the Rockets.
Yes.
I mean, to the Hornets.
Well, that's a massive.
That's a big fine. Yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to sign with the Rockets right now. But speaking of Montrezl Harrell, our friends in LA put up a nice billboard of Montrezl Harrell.
We love our friends in LA.
Yeah, we love them totally. I can't find this billboard, but I'm looking for it. I thought I had it pulled up. Where is the billboard? Where is the billboard? I can't find the billboard.
Put it on the poll. Where is the billboard? I can't find the billboard.
Somebody help me find the billboard, because I'm now like.
You sent it in the group chat.
I did. That's correct. Okay, so here is the billboard for the YouTube listeners. It has a nice expletive and, Montrezl Harrell's hate for the Clippers. I'm going to say that he didn't do this, but I'm also wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't just his burner account, because I'm just guessing it was his burner account.
For radio listeners, it says the Clippers.
Yeah. F-U-C-K, the Clippers. With a Lakers logo, Montrezl Harrell to the left of it, his name on top. That's about it. But heady play, I guess.
How about that?
He doesn't have to move houses.
He didn't have to move houses. That's right. It's like when Matt Weeder. It's the exact same thing.
Kids will have to move schools.
I don't know if he has kids. He's like 27. I don't know if he has kids old enough.
He went to Louisville. That's all I gotta say. Went to Louisville.
Louisville.
Played under Rick Pitino. We know what Rick Pitino was.
Played with Roanoke, Virginia's own, and my brother's high school classmate, Luke Hancock. Luke Hancock, now an ACC network analyst, live from his house.
I saw them play in the Sweet 16 against Kentucky. They lost.
I saw Luke Hancock play in a high school basketball game that ended 28-27. JJ Redick's high school coach, Billy Hicks, decided to run that old North Carolina offense where you just swing the ball around and because there's no shot clock in Virginia high school basketball, which I'm sure there is in Indiana. Am I right?
Nope.
There's no shot clock in Indiana, but it's Indiana. Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
Hey, we play that same offense.
Yeah. But so yeah.
You get 4 possessions a quarter.
Because for some reason the Hidden Valley Titans were better than the Cave Spring Knights, even though the Cave Spring Knights had the better coach. We had Valparaiso University star Ben Boggs as well.
Well, that's a fine. Say that again. That's a fine.
Valparaiso.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Valparaiso, Indiana star. Ben Boggs and Luke Hancock, who would turn out to be the most outstanding player in the 2013 Louisville title, which still counts in my personal record book. And Luke Hancock got a technical foul in that game because he hung on the rim on a missed dunk.
That boy.
True story.
Hey, white men can jump.
I was a camp counselor alongside him as well.
Cool.
My freshman. Yep. True story. All right, that's enough of that. The NBA.
My camp counselor. How about that?
You were a LeBron camp counselor? What?
Ben Boggs was my camp counselor.
Was he really?
Yes.
He was also my camp counselor, but like 10 hours away from where he was your camp counselor.
How about that?
How about that? Luke was also my camp counselor too. So this is really good radio. Mallory.
Do you have any camp counselors?
Mallory, you there?
Yeah.
You go to any camps as a kid?
Delay. She's listening on the delay.
I went to lots of different camps. I had famous camp counselors, but they're all like part of the dance community, so you guys wouldn't know them.
I'm a huge dance. I got into the first 3 episodes of Dancing with the Stars, and then Monday Night Football started.
Tonight was the Dancing with the Stars finale.
Today.
Spoiler alert, congratulations to Caitlin Bristow, the former Bachelorette, for winning Dancing with the Stars.
Shocking.
Big dub.
Shocking. Are you a big fan, Alex?
I didn't watch one. Well, I watched half of one episode.
Yeah, you got Bruno. He's always shooting up like a rocket.
Jesse, did you ever watch the Step Up movies?
I watched like one of them. Wasn't Channing Tatum in one of them?
I don't know, but I had some camp counselors from that, some other dance movies.
We're leaving that in, by the way. That wasn't what I was going for, but we're leaving it in. Like he literally just stands up out of his chair really fast. That's what I was talking about. What I do, I don't know.
I'd say put it on the poll. Does he shoot up like a rocket? Do that.
Okay. All right. Well, Mallory.
Compliment. He would take that as a compliment. You know.
Mallory, do you want to get on to college hoops? So this is not a question for Alex. Alex, don't say anything. Mallory, do you want to move on to college hoops, or do you want to talk about the draft? Because we really didn't get into it. We started just laughing and goofing off on our alumni.
No, we don't have to talk about the draft. Just talk about college basketball, and I'll be right back.
You're not going to talk about the women's team with me?
Okay, the women's team has a very young team this year. Only one senior, Breonna Sanders. How about that?
Yeah.
That's excellent. I'm going to go into a little bit more of a deep dive than that. What I'm going to say is they have a lot of freshmen, like Mallory said, 6 freshmen, 1 other newcomer. She is a junior college transfer. They're really going to be relying on the few returners that they have and these freshmen, I'm sorry. But Ebony Walker, for me, is the key. She is a sophomore forward. She really came on strong off the bench, was probably their best bench player last year. But for me, she's the key. You need Jade Van Hefty to step up. I'm excited for the size of this team. It's a way, way, way taller team than most ASU women's basketball teams have been in the past. And they've changed the offense, which is a much needed thing because it was very stop and start, very they let the shot clock get down pretty far. Which is not exactly a bad thing, but sometimes can be a bad thing. They sometimes make too many passes, Why am I muted? I'm giving a
Why are you talking about ASU women's basketball in a serious manner on the Why So Serious show?
Because it's my beat. I'm passionate about it.
I understand that, Jesse. If you're passionate about it, you can write your articles on Devil's Digest. This is the Why So Serious show.
What can you? I invited you on the
Blaze
show.
Radio, BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Yeah, I might call a game for women's basketball this year for Blaze. So I'm giving my analysis. I used to cover the team for Blaze. I would probably still cover the team for Blaze if I didn't get an actual job covering the team. No, do not mute me. I'm muting you. You're muted now. I'm not muted. I'm going to talk about the team that I cover as much as I want to talk about the team that I cover. I was going to go game by game predicting each matchup for both men's and women's today.
Game by game.
Game by game. Yeah, I'm really passionate about these teams this year. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Listen, Jesse.
The men's team is number 18 in the country preseason ranking.
Listen, Jesse, so am I. I'm very passionate about these teams. So passionate that I'm begging you, talk about anything else other than those teams.
Number 18, Arizona State men's basketball team. You got the women's team.
Hang on. Jesse, I have a question for you. Are you still mad that they're not playing the same number of games?
I don't want to get into that. I would like to see the men and the women play the same number of games. Also,
It's possible from a scheduling standpoint.
if I was women, if I was the Pac-12, I don't know if I would have done a 22 game. I'm saying I don't know if I would have done this is a bigger point. I don't know if I would have done a 22 game women's basketball schedule. Because they're just gonna eat each other alive.
Okay, but you can still control you can control testing that way.
True, but they're gonna eat each other alive.
No, it's the Pac-12. They eat each other alive anyway.
Yeah, but like
one big hashtag one big lead.
All right, I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing.
Big league.
But we need to talk about what I really wanted to talk about here. Serious ASU women's basketball and men's basketball talk. The one player that I really need to step up this year for Arizona State is Taya Hansen. She came in with a lot of hype 2 years ago. She's been very good defender, but it hasn't really come along offensively. I really need to see a big step up from Taya Hansen. She's like Taya Hansen. Yeah, she's from Canada. We love Canada. For some reason, she played basketball. I mean, there's more Maple Jordans coming out every year.
Also, big BMX person.
Didn't know that. Hopefully, she doesn't do that during the season.
Why not?
Because she could wreck. BMX is a little more dangerous than.
She enjoys it.
Yeah, but she's needed on the basketball court. That's my opinion. But great interview, one of the best interviews. She was on Maroon Monsoon, it's called All Aboard with Herm Edwards now. And
only during football season.
Only during football season, then it goes back to Maroon Monsoon. But yeah, she was on there, and she was a great interview. Tim Healy thinks that she should be a broadcaster. But do you guys want me to go game by game and give a prediction for each one? You guys don't want to predict? You don't want to do that?
No.
You're covering the team too, though. You should be this passionate about it.
Check out my content. HowSparky.com.
Why didn't you?
Oh, really nice.
I got two things to say. Number one, why didn't you write the preview? And number two, why'd you guys write the preview before Charlie's media availability tomorrow? There's no quotes in the preview. I'm very confused.
Okay, well, you don't know how we do our content, first of all.
That's why I'm asking. I just wanted to know.
We have a schedule of who writes what when, and maybe we are writing something based on the media availability tomorrow, but you'll just have to
demand every story. Demand it. This is my beat, my story.
I have a full-time job besides writing.
Or you could just pay attention to all the content on statepress.com. Follow us on Twitter @StatePress and @StatePressSport. Got everything covered. Every sport down to women's lacrosse, from football, women's.
I have a question.
Boom.
Do you cover Quidditch though? Like that's what you need to get on that Quidditch beat.
Quidditch team did not have a season this year.
What? No Quidditch season? They didn't bring up. They didn't. The Pac-12's Quiddell Corporation testing plan did not apply to Quidditch.
I have a question for Alex. I saw all the state press editors announcing what they're going to be editor for next year, and I didn't see an official announcement from Alex. Are you returning as sports editor?
You have to be a connection with me on LinkedIn to see the announcement.
Alex posts on LinkedIn.
I forgot to post that everywhere else. I only posted on LinkedIn.
He forgot to post everywhere else. It's just on LinkedIn. Okay. All right. Well,
hey, listeners out there, LinkedIn, let me know.
Alex, number 18, Arizona State men's basketball. You kind of cover the team. I don't know if I would call you a beat reporter, but you get credentials. And
I know everything about every team.
Yeah, let's hear your rundown on Western Kentucky men's basketball. I want
Western Kentucky men's basketball.
You said you have your rundown on every team.
No, every ASU team. Come on.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't make that clear, so I thought you were assuming that you knew everything. What about Marshall Thundering Herd basketball?
I have an announcement. 1 second.
Hey, Mallory, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hashtag proud to some personal news,
Some Mallory, put it on the poll. Some personal news, yes or no?
Some personal news, I'm proud to announce that I will be calling 3 Valparaiso University basketball games for their radio this winter break.
Men's, women's.
2 men's and 1 women's game.
Okay, who's a better team?
Men's by far.
Okay.
So listen in November 29th, December 6th, and December 12th.
So,
you are Valparaiso.
Are they playing anybody good?
First game, don't know because the first 2 opponents they tried to do backed out because of COVID, so they're trying to find another team. The women's team plays against Central or Western Michigan, one of those 2. I should probably figure that out.
One of those directional schools in Michigan. You should just announce them the whole game as the directional school down the floor. Oh, that's a good shot by the directional school.
We're gonna get some action.
Some action. Wow, I'm excited. So yeah, are they at home in
all of them at the Athletic Recreation Center in Valparaiso, Indiana. Union Street Hoops, baby.
Can you preview men's for us though? ASU men's.
ASU men's. Yeah. So their first. Speaking of Valparaiso University basketball, the first game was supposed to be against Baylor, and Baylor head coach Scott Drew, brother of Bryce Drew, son of Homer Drew. I'm
not laughing at him, Gavin Cohen. I'm laughing at Alex about what Alex is about to say. All
3 of them former Valparaiso University head coaches. Bryce Drew at Baylor tested positive for this week. So, 8 ASU pulled out. Villanova also didn't want to play Baylor. So that forced Baylor to pull out. So now ASU's back in. They play Rhode Island, Buddy Hurley's brother's former school. Then also Bryce Drew and the GCU Lopes play ASU. So both Drew brothers from Valparaiso University will be coaching, or we're supposed to be coaching against ASU.
Lots of hand motions there. That's really not a preview though. That's just.
I just wanted to get that across.
That's just you talking about your town, your hometown. Like, can we get like your thoughts on the team or something? Like, what's going to happen with ASU men's basketball this year? Number 18. We want all these predictions. And
if they don't reach the Sweet 16 this year, if they don't reach the Sweet 16 this year, and either don't win the Pac-12 regular season or reach the championship game in the tournament, it's an underperformance.
The tourney. How about that March Madness?
I think this is a Final Four caliber team.
Wow, I do too. My only problem that I have with this team is I was looking at their roster today. I was going through the heights, the players. Tallest player on the team. 6'10" John Olmstead. John Olmstead is a walk-on. he's probably going to play about 5 games this year in scrub time when they're up or for some reason losing. And Bobby doesn't even really like to play his scrubs that much anyway. He'll play like 30 seconds here and there. And Morenci High School, where he went, it played Santan Charter. So he was from a 2A school. The tallest rotation player is a skinny 6'9" guy. So
nice.
6'11", 270 for one of these big powerhouses. I think that's when ASU is going to have some problems here. But to get through the Pac-12 and everything.
Defensively, I'm not concerned about this team defensively, though, at all. I think
I'm not either. I'm just getting anybody.
A tremendous defender can play good defense in the low post. Remy Martin is a good guard defensively. And then, Bagley down there. It's going to really be about how, well can the bigs that need to step up. Kamani Lawrence is going to have to play larger off the bench. A whole bunch of guys down there are going to need to play much better. That's the only question mark. But again, at guard, the depth is amazing. We'll talk about. We might ask Hod about it in the interview we have coming up with Hod on the show. So I'm curious to see what he's going to say about that. But I think from a guard standpoint, defensively, especially Jalen House coming off the bench to play defense in a big situation, I'm not worried about that at all. So, a little.
I'm not worried about defense. I'm just worried about rebounding and size.
I think it will be a problem because the guards are quick to find quick and pesky to find those holes to get a rebound. And especially Bagley and Christopher, they can fly in the air to go up and grab the ball if they need to, and they're strong. All
right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll take a pause here right now. Just a little spoiler here. Hod gives his favorite Thanksgiving food, so you want to stay for that. But he also actually provides good analysis on.
We're not sure yet. We haven't actually interviewed him yet.
No, yeah, we totally haven't interviewed him yet. Definitely didn't interview him already. Didn't happen. All right, well, we'll pause for that. Welcome back to the Why So Serious show. Jesse Morrison alongside Alex Coyle, and we have a very special guest on, the publisher of DevilsDigest.com, Hod Rabino. Hod, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jesse. Thanks for having me. How you doing, Alex?
Doing all right. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
So I just wanted to get started here with the news breaking just a few minutes ago. ASU's game has been moved to Sunday against Utah. No media availability tomorrow for Coach Herm Edwards. Is this a good sign to you or a bad sign to you?
Well, I just think that it's really a prudent move on both announcements. First of all, I would think that Herm Edwards has maybe just left his 10-day quarantine after being tested positive for COVID-19. So I think that having his normal weekly press conference on Monday maybe wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. He's been more or less out of commission, obviously, for the last 10 days. And really, there's not a whole lot to announce at this point, whether the game against Utah and Tempe will or not take place. Now, I went on record several days ago saying that if there was going to be a game, and I'll stress, if there was going to be a game, it would have to be played on Sunday, not Saturday, because a lot of the players in the contract tracing protocol at Arizona State were only going to be able to return to the practice field Thursday or Friday. And honestly, even playing a game 48 hours later for some players might be asking a little too much, but definitely I did not see this game taking place on Saturday. Again, we'll wait for the announcement, which I would assume would come sometime before Thanksgiving, whether or not the game is going to take place, period. But as far as the kickoff being changed to Saturday or Sunday, like I said, I went on record already stating that, so no surprise here whatsoever. One thing I will mention, and I'm sure some of you guys already know this, is that Arizona State basketball is about to tip off their home opener Sunday the 29th as well. Right now the tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m., so we'll see if there will or not be a conflict. We know that Arizona State was originally scheduled to play Cal at 11 a.m. on Sunday the 15th, I believe. So that obviously never came to fruition. And now I'm just kind of wondering if ASU goes back to that model, if you will, with a pretty early morning kickoff, or now does the basketball game that day really force them to play at night, which obviously would be less competition from simultaneously NFL games. So it was interesting to see how this all gets figured out, but there's some certainty, but still a lot more uncertainty right now.
Now, what's this team going to look like? Obviously, you have Remy coming back. You have Alonzo Verge coming back. But you also add Josh Christopher and Marcus Bagley, among others. What's the team going to look like in terms of are there going to be enough basketballs to go around for everybody, or is that going to be not a problem? It's just going to be the typical guard you that we've seen with more aspects.
Well, as Bobby Hurley, quote unquote, reminded me, they are not going to play with 5 guards. You can see it all over Twitter if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I think this personnel still lends itself more to the guard you version of it rather than the Lou Dort, Zylan Cheatham version of it, which probably was more complete team, definitely more physical, definitely a better rebounding, really one of the best rebounding teams we've seen in Tempe in a while when you look at the numbers and compare them to previous years. And Bobby Hurley said that obviously he wants his team to be a complete one, to be that so-called inside-outside team where they can really punish you different ways on offense and still be complete team defensively, being as formidable on the perimeter as they would be in the paint. And to me, that's going to be really interesting to see if that challenge can be met, if that wish can be realized, if you will, by the coaching staff. Because I think there are, to some extent, some tools over there, because everybody likes to talk about the backcourt. Like you said, Remy Martin, AP preseason All-American, something that we haven't seen since Ike Diagu back in, I believe, 2003. You look at Alonzo Verge, the returning 6th man of the year in the Pac-12, now being in the starting lineup. Josh Christopher, obviously, a 5-star prospect now as a true freshman, all but a shoo-in to be a one-and-done at Arizona State. When you also look at a formidable backup point guard to Remy Martin, something I don't think was here in Tempe the last 2 years, in Holland Woods, who got the waiver to play right away and only has 1 year of eligibility. And that eligibility freeze, look, it can definitely benefit ASU football, and we'll see how so. But in terms of ASU basketball, to have Holland Woods for not 1 but 2 years in Tempe, I think we're going to look back at maybe a quote-unquote under-the-radar personnel decision as really paying a lot of dividends, again, not only this year, but next year as well. Marcus Bagley, another 5-star prospect, incoming freshman. A lot's going to be asked from him to be a force in the paint on both ends of the court. And I know Bobby Hurley has raved about Marcus Bagley's outside shooting capabilities, and that is definitely one of the strongest traits that he has. But I think Marcus Bagley definitely holds the key, if you will, to if ASU can have a strong front court. Now, obviously, you have to mention the 5th starter, Jalen Graham, a player who showed a lot of flashes as a freshman, now will be a starter just because Romello White decided to transfer out. And there's really not a whole lot of depth behind him, so a lot's going to be asked from him. I think more on the defensive side than the offensive side, although I think with so much attention by opposing defenses on Remy Martin, on Alonzo Verge, on Josh Christopher, on Marcus Bagley, I think Jalen Graham could actually really flourish even that much more on the offensive side. But I'm just really curious to see what kind of team it's going to be in terms of being complete or non-complete. And as far as having one basketball, I think in their media sessions, the Bobby Hurley and the players maybe get a little annoyed by that question because they just feel that the sharing of the basketball has never been better under Bobby Hurley's team. At the same time, Bobby Hurley talks about trust as being probably the number one trait that he's harping on, and the number one trait that may make or break this team. So when I see so much emphasis from Bobby Hurley on the trust aspect of it, that makes me feel that having one basketball and 4 or 5 very, very talented players in the starting lineup may be less of an issue than a lot of folks think it will be.
On paper, since you've been covering this team, the past 20 whatever years, is this the best team that Arizona State has put out there for men's basketball?
If I'm looking at this century, yes. I mean, I don't want to really date myself, but the 1996 team that went to the Sweet 16, I think was probably equivalent to talent just in terms of the bench. Look, I mean, starting lineup is starting lineup, but I don't think I'm breaking news here saying that Arizona State ultimately is going to go as far as its reserves. And you have Holland Woods, like I said, who knows? He may be the one taking the reins from Alonzo Virgin, being the sixth man of the year in the Pac-12 this season. But what happens with other players like Tayshaun Cherry, another player I probably should have mentioned as somebody that really needs to make contributions in the front court for the Sun Devils? Again, Kimani Lawrence, maybe the forgotten man, even though he's a senior, a player that, as you guys know, in the last couple of years, a little hot and cold, and one player that, at least on my message board, gets pretty maligned at times by ASU fans just because he came in as, I would say, pretty heralded 4-star. Maybe he's saving his best for last, even though he can play because of eligibility freeze in 21-22 if he wished to do so. But that's another player that I think on paper can really contribute. Chris Austin, a junior college transfer from Lee, Texas, somebody that I really honestly did not have any expectations whatsoever, maybe even raised my eyebrow a little at ASU adding him to begin with. But Bobby Hurley just last Friday was really singing his praises as being a high-effort guy, somebody who flies above the rim probably much more than you would think. So if those players can really be formidable contributors almost every night for the Sun Devils, and yes, I think this is definitely going to go down as the best team in this century for ASU, because even in the James Harden years, if some of your viewers recall, I mean, Jamel McMillan was the first guy off the bench, and there were other guys off the bench, don't get me wrong, but definitely nothing of the caliber of even close to being the starters. And basically, at the end of the day, you want to have as little of a drop-off from a starter to a reserve, and I think that this year is going to be an aspect that we're going to see in more favorable terms than we have in a long, long time in Tempe. And that's why I think that this century, this is the most talented team Arizona State has ever fielded.
Now, in terms of the rest of the Pac-12, where does this team line up? I know in various polls, it was, ASU and UCLA were really the two teams. In terms of everybody else, where does ASU stack up in the Pac-12? Do you have them one? Do you have them behind UCLA? And then what's the conference looking like as a whole?
Well, in the Pac-12 preseason media poll, ASU was ranked second with 5 first-place votes, and yours truly was one of those 5 votes. And also, so obviously, I did pick him to win the Pac-12 because I feel that this is the season where everything comes together for Arizona State. They definitely have the talent to win the Pac-12. I don't think there's any question about that. And I'm not diminishing what UCLA brings to the table. Oregon is a team that, in my eyes, it's going to be a while until you can actually come one preseason and count them out of the top 4. I mean, they're really that type of program over there. And Stanford really has been that preseason darling, really sneaking into some top 25 preseason polls here and there. A team that's been, I would say, pretty mediocre for the last few years, but a lot of people think that 2021 will be the breakout season for the Cardinals. So I think in terms of those 4 teams, it would be a surprise to see a program not in that bunch winning the Pac-12. But can Arizona State will win the Pac-12? Absolutely. I guess if there's one, I'm not going to say concern, that's probably not the right term, but will a very challenging non-conference schedule, quote unquote, wear down ASU when it's time to begin Pac-12 play? And don't forget, ASU, not unlike any of their Pac-12 foes, are actually going to have in the middle of the non-conference slate 2 Pac-12 contests. For Arizona State, I believe it's December 3rd against Cal on the road, definitely winnable game. And the second game in December, which I believe is December 22nd, a home contest against Utah, again, a winnable game. But when you're playing that in the midst of some really, really challenging games, how much does that play a factor? Because those games, make no mistake about it, because I know some fans are confused, those games do count in the standings, even though they are played in December, because even before the pandemic hit us, the Pac-12 made a decision to actually move from an 18 to a 20 conference game model, which obviously requires you to play a couple games in December. So that's the only thing that I'm really kind of interested to see how that all materializes. And look, I'm not going to sit there and guarantee that ASU beats Baylor and Villanova in back-to-back nights, but if they do so, then I think everybody has every reason to be that much more bullish on this Arizona State team, because I think that achieving that feat, which, feasible or not feasible, I know a lot of people are going to argue about, but if that were to happen, then I think that really the sky's the limit for Arizona State, and winning the Pac-12 is not out of the question. Being in the Sweet 16 at worst is definitely out of the question, because, again, you just look up the roster up and down, and there's a lot to be excited about this Sun Devil squad.
One more serious question for you,
Sure.
and I hope I pronounced his name right. But Bobby has kind of talked about Pablo De Zubia a lot. He likes to bring him up. Do you think he's even got a role this year? He's so young. Do you think they'll? I guess it's not really a red shirt this year with the eligibility freeze, but yeah, what do you see out of him? Playing a role this year at all?
First of all, I see a power forward that's built like a tight end. The thing with Pablo is that he was only able to get here literally a day before preseason practices started in mid-October, because he came from overseas, or just outside of the ASU bubble, if you will. He had to quarantine for 1 week. So to say he's behind the 8 ball is not hyperbole at all. I mean, he really has a lot of catching up to do. And Bobby Hurley, I think, was very tempered about him. I mean, not promising the moon and the stars in terms of what he can achieve. I would hope that the fact that he did not play against high school kids the last year or two, but playing in the Barcelona junior team in Spain, definitely helped him really deal with the rigors of playing against players that at times were bigger and faster than him. Maybe that does help him somewhat, but I think he's definitely one example of a player where you may not see a whole lot in November, December, but if he's just on the right trajectory in terms of his development, then come January, February, he can definitely be a much-needed contributor off the bench for the Arizona State front court. So, again, I would really caution ASU fans to be patient about him.
So, just going to the less serious stuff. So Thanksgiving's coming up. First off, do you have a favorite Thanksgiving food? And then second, do you guys do a weird Thanksgiving food that no one else does?
To answer the second question first, no, not really. I mean, I don't think green bean casserole is weird, right? So
a lot of people do that,
and I can't even say we have that like clockwork every year. Favorite food, would have to break it into dessert and non-dessert. Dessert definitely pecan pie, and maybe I'm in a minority on that one. I don't know, but I know pumpkin and apple.
Popular, it's still popular, especially where I'm from.
Yeah, but pecan pie definitely is the best pie out there if I'm comparing it to apple, cherry, and pumpkin. In terms of favorite Thanksgiving food, I would just say yams probably, and I mean sweet potato. You really can't go wrong. I mean, I don't need the mashed potatoes and the yams side by side. I know a lot of families do that. I mean, to me, if you just give me the yams, a little butter, a little cinnamon, works great.
Alex, do you have any? Do you want him to somehow roast me some way?
Yeah. Is there any? I know there was some news recently that Jesse thought that maybe you didn't see, so he had to send you the news to make sure you saw it. And he just really wasn't paying attention. So what's going on that front?
Yeah, Jesse slides into DM like I don't know what. I mean, thirsty. He's not thirsty, in any other sense, but just to share sports news, which, I guess that's a good thirsty to be, right? If you're going to slide in DM. But I forget what it was. Like,
it was Herm testing positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Of course you were going to know that. And then I sent it to you, and I was like, And then you were like, of course I knew this. And I was just like, yeah, that's probably the worst tweet I've ever seen. That's probably the worst thing I've ever done on.
What can I say? Like, if senility ever hits this old man sooner than expected, I can kind of in his DM. So if you're looking for a silver lining in all of this, that's what it is.
If you had to rate Jesse's DM game on a scale from 1 to 10, what would it be?
Look, I mean, as far as timeliness, I would say it's probably an 8 or a 9. I mean, now again, is it usefulness? Maybe a 5 or a 6.
Hey, 5 or 6, that's
Better than a 2, yeah.
positive. That's trending positive.
Yeah,
All right, thanks, Hod. Make sure to check out our content on DevilsDigest.com. Lots of good stuff coming out about men's, women's basketball, football, everything on there. Thanks, Hod. Mallory Schnell, and we have
Special thanks to Hod for coming on.
Yeah, big thanks to Hod for coming on. It was a great talking to him. Of course, we
love Hod Rabino.
Given me so many opportunities that I'm very thankful for. But we got to get to, I guess, our last segment of the day.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, Mallory, what are we doing?
Okay, I'm prepared today.
Go on. It's better when you're not prepared.
My what are we doing is Jesse.
What did I do?
I'm at work yesterday. I get all these texts and calls. Your oven is beeping every 5 seconds. I'm scared my apartment's about to catch on fire. Turns out Jesse left the freezer open. The freezer that's supposed to be on 0 degrees went all the way up to 18 degrees.
So cold in my mind.
All of the food could have gone bad.
Up to 19.
Thing is, what did he say?
It went up to 19.
He said it went up to 19.
No, it was getting there. It was getting back to 0. It was on.
And for you to say that it was only open for 5 minutes, that's impossible.
It was like 5 to 20, something in between those numbers. Somewhere in between 5 or 20. I said it was like 5 minutes, which is not 5 minutes. I said like 5 minutes. I like there's literally no vein in my body that can lie. So what you do when you're an honest person to somewhat lie is you say like 5 minutes, because it's not a lie, but it's close.
LinkedIn update. Mallory Schnell has viewed your profile.
I invited you to connect.
I turned off my LinkedIn notifications because I don't want these work anniversary congratulations from people that I've never met that aren't in my field. Congrats on your work anniversary, dude that works in marketing in like Norfolk, Virginia for like a plant company. I don't know.
Did you accept my request is the question.
I'm working on it.
I'm getting to
I don't
it.
know how to use LinkedIn.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Alex, what are we doing?
Matt Ryan and the entire Falcons offense.
What do they do?
I have Matt Ryan as my starting quarterback in 3 fantasy leagues.
You have Matt Ryan in 3. What are you like? Why? What like? You want to lose?
He's a top 10 fantasy quarterback. And I had Hayden Hurst because he was supposed to have a big week against the Saints to allow big points to tight ends. Combined 5 points from the 2 of them this week. In one of my leagues, I started Taysom Hill at tight end and Matt Ryan at quarterback, thinking automatic dub. I lose by 3 points.
Oof.
What are we doing, Matt Ryan and the Falcons?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, my what are we doing is the crowds at college and high school sporting events. We're going to start with high school here in Arizona.
I second this notion.
We're going to start here with high school in Arizona, and we're talking about that big game on Friday night that was on ESPNU. I believe it was Chandler and Hamilton.
Battle of Arizona Avenue.
Yes, that's true. The student section, there was no social distancing. There's masks on the students. I don't know if there are masks on the parents, but the parent section was crowded too. it was just a tough scene all around. If you're going to insist on playing high school football without a testing plan,
I have a take here.
But
I have a take here.
Just play with no fans or just parents.
Right. I have a take. The people were like combative about should we play college sports, but what is, again, this is backed by, I haven't looked at any numbers, but high school football has to be a massive part of why the pandemic is so bad right now. Because this is something that is in every single town. It's not just a college football thing where it's like, maybe 6 or 7 big programs per state, or pro football where there's, less than one in each state. This is in every single city and town in America.
Some states are banned, like California, Virginia, they don't have.
Okay, right, yes, okay.
Football.
But the majority of the country is participating in high school football right now. And, there are protocols in place, yes, but at least at a game I was at this year, I'm not going to say which one, or multiple games, I'm not going to out which school I was at. There were protocols in place, but they were not being followed. And, big gatherings, we should not have played high school football this year. We should not play college football this year. Like, that is a big reason, in my opinion, why it's getting so bad right now.
Well,
it's irresponsible, and it shows that this country is more worried about, pride. More about pride, more
and
about
a game.
Huh?
And a game.
Yeah, right. More about pride,
game.
more about like sensational, like, oh, we got to get through it, like, college or football coach speak and all that garbage. That we've been through a lot, lots of tough times. We just got to get out there and grind through all the pain. And how about we wait? Just not do it for this year so we can get people healthy, so we can have a basketball season or a baseball season in the fall or in the spring.
Or a football season in the spring.
It's so irresponsible, and it's a big – I personally think it's a factor in why this is so bad.
And I will say, I'm not going to, again, out the school, but I'm going to say – I'm going to say that I was talking at a high school football game. I was socially distant. I was away from everybody else.
We were elevated.
Yes. I was talking to someone at this was before this was at a game you weren't at.
Okay.
It was, so I was talking to a lady from a visiting school, and I asked her, like, I was like, so, are you guys getting tested? Like, what's going on here? And she said, if somebody has symptoms, we'll, test them and stuff. And so I was just like, it's not great, but I'm gonna enjoy the call and enjoy the podcast.
What really makes me mad is it's such a privileged thing to be able to go and gather and not really care about anything, because you might not get sick, but it's spreading it, and you might not be greatly affected as a well-off, in most cases, white person, and it affects a lot of other areas that are not as privileged as white people or well-off people, or middle-aged to young people. So let's start thinking about other people that are not in privileged situations in all of this.
It's not. It's a game. It's a game that
it shows
we really like
about our country. To be completely honest,
we really like this game. It's very popular in this country, but especially at this level, I even understand the college thing a little bit, but I do not understand the high school. Like I was like literally shocked that high school football came back. I was shocked. Like, I was shocked that they were playing high school football.
And am I guilty of everything that I'm saying? Yes, because I took advantage of all the opportunities.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, I did the.
This
is we're being hypocritical a little bit.
100%. But I'm saying I'm guilty of that too. Hand up, and totally me.
Yeah.
But it says a lot about our country that we are more worried about that. And now obviously there is some value to the mental things and people having things you get excited about, and mental health is important, but you shouldn't risk the greater health of the common good, to use a Incredibles reference, the greater good. You are not the greater good. I am not the greater good. The greater good is everybody else, and so you just start thinking about that. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, I'm gonna close out actually no, I'll do the polls first, and then we'll close out with exactly who we're talking about.
Okay, time for the polls.
Yes.
Does everyone have their Taco Bell? 60% yes.
Yeah, you always have your Taco Bell that you go to. Like that's the Taco.
Yeah, we
Bell.
don't. We get it. We get it.
Okay.
Does everyone have? Is the Rose Bowl the best college football stadium? 50-50. Never happened before.
Yeah, I think people were thinking for just in general. I wasn't talking UCLA game. Keep going, Mallory. Mallory doesn't want to be.
I just realized I probably should have put on the poll like Miles Harkless or Mo Harkness.
All right. Well, it's not too late. Just keep going though.
Are Chris Berman's fastest 3 minutes the best 3 minutes in sports? 84%.
84% yes, you said?
84. Is 7-0 with the Red Rifle ever a possibility? 60% no. Should the Cowboys have to play 4 games in 10 days in November? 60% yes. Is Avery Bradley the move that will attract correctly spelled Giannis Antetokounmpo? 62% no. Does Jesse only scroll through his profile? 83% yes. Some personal news, 100% yes.
Is that all the polls? Or are those all the polls?
Fine. Grammar.
Yeah, grammar. All right. Well, we're gonna share exactly who Alex and I are talking about before we stop here.
I want you to listen to me carefully. Eyes on me. We ain't feeling sorry for ourselves. We didn't play our best football. You know it and I know it. But you didn't quit.
I'm proud of you.
You didn't quit. You football.
Hey, hold on. Pause it.
Up, Junior.
Number 90, the kicker, my high school, Valparaiso High School, Valparaiso, Indiana.
No mask on Tom Allen, by the way.
No mask on the kicker either.
A lot of football being played.
And then we got
A lot of football being played.
we got cousin It over here.
A lot of football being played. You understand me? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We come here to be close. And I'm ticked off by the result.
I'm ticked off, man.
How do you guys? Because you fought. And you fought. And you fought.
He should have looked into the camera.
He said fought.
Stay together.
Just so everybody know, he said fought.
Team is special. Special things ahead of you. You understand me? Yes, sir. Special things ahead of you. That's the truth.
That's the truth, man.
Our military really missed out on this man.
I love
Hey,
the team, man.
I will give him credit, though. Black Lives Matter on the hat and the helmet.
Yeah, it's great. No mask though. He's halfway there. All right, we're gonna update one more poll here that Mallory just put out. Mo
His son,
Harkness.
Thomas Allen, out for the year.
I voted Mo Harkness. Who's out for the year?
His son, Thomas Allen.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't realize that guy had kids young enough to be in college. But okay. Is he? He looks like he's 60.
He might be 60.
Yeah, he could still have college kids at 60.
I said
All right,
no
well,
hard-
follow us on the letter. We're muting Mallory because she's talking. Follow us on the letter Y.
So IHOP, guys. IHOP.
IHOP would be great, but there's 4,000 cases. So
Takeout.
takeout. I'm down for takeout, but actually, I have to transcribe an interview. I'm sorry, but we'll.
Okay, so he does his job on the show and not on the show.
Yeah, I do my job everywhere. Follow us again. Follow us on Twitter at Why So Serious Show. That's why like the letter Y, and check us out. Possibly next week. I'm going to try to get us to do a show next week because we need to have the first edition of the Alco formula put out by Monday.
Oh.
So we have to do a show next
There's
week.
Where's
Doesn't
the
matter.
point?
The funniest thing about it is that everybody's going to play like 3 games before next week.
One.
For some teams, yeah.
Okay, but here's the funny part about it is that
Shh, I have neighbors
okay,
right there.
the funny part about it is that Alex is now terrified about doing the Alka 4. Like he hates it now. It's a chore for him. He used to love doing it. Now it's just a chore for him.
3 hours for me to put all that
It
down.
takes you 3 hours. You spend 3 hours to do something that nobody wants.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
I love it.
Every Sunday during football, it's Alex and like
Where's FSU?
I used to print it out. I used to have a stack of 8 sheets of paper with all of the numbers, and I manually put them in.
all right. Good night, Canada.
Good night, Hannah.
Go Rays.